Hey, what's poppin', people? It is time, once again, for Truly Inconsequential. Super psyched, super excited, here with my homeboy, Mr. Greer.
Hello.
And we're about to bring it to you, as we always do. What do you call it? Episode 18. If it were up to Pete, it would be Fudd season, all right? Do you feel me on this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for those of you who are not aware, Truly Inconsequential, not all characters are created equal. Greer and I, if you're not familiar with the Grindhouse radio debate this week, zeros in front of you guys, a live audience, and obviously we need you guys to participate.
Yes.
We need this participation. Let us know, your thoughts. Attack us. It's okay. We're ready for it, and we're interested in hearing your thoughts. So this week, all right, we're going to be having Elmer Fudd versus Mr. Pete from Disney.
Yeah.
Okay. And essentially, if you're not familiar, Elmer Fudd, first day with the new mouth. Elmer Fudd from Looney Tunes and Pete from Disney. So now, do you think that Elmer will add Pete's head as a trophy on his wall, or will his plan go sideways as usual, and Pete will declare it Fudd season?
Yeah.
So.
That's a good one. Jose, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Henrik, welcome.
Hello.
Last week, we know that we didn't do a live last week. We did a recorded one that we uploaded on Facebook. We uploaded on YouTube. It was Phoebe versus Fez. I believe at the end of that, we left it up to the viewers. They were going to have to decide who was more consequential than the other. I think Phoebe won. I think Phoebe wound up being more. I think it's, and I mostly just think it's because I'm willing to bet Friends was more popular than.
Oh yeah,
that 70s show.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's it. I personally
hey Chris, how are you?
I like that 70s show way more than Friends.
Hello,
to me,
Herb.
it's not even close. What's up, Herb? I hope everything's going all good over on your end.
Did we have any comments?
I'd have to go check, but I believe the consensus. The vast consensus was Phoebe is more consequential than Fez.
Okay.
I think is the big gist I got from it. But like he's mentioning, guys, we do post these videos. Well, the lives, and then the lives go up onto our channel later on. So leave comments, like them, share them, put them all out there, and all the interaction helps our lives and helps our videos. And helps force us through the algorithm, so more people see us and can join these insane debates.
I think this one should be fun.
It should be interesting. This is one of the ones where I really have absolutely no idea where it's gonna go. I'm kind of just gonna close. I'm just gonna close my eyes and see where cruise control takes us.
It's like pin the tail on a donkey.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, exactly.
Not sure what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So, guys, I know these are two. You would think in some aspects they're two very different characters, but you'd argue that they're kind of similar in some cases.
I can agree.
Who do you think we should start with, Pete from Disney or Elmer Fudd from Looney Tunes? Who is your decision? Who do you think me and Brim can make the choice, but we'd like the viewers to give us to make the choice for us.
You tell us, guys. What do you think? What do you think? Where's Mary? Is Mary here? Because I know
Mary usually shows. Mary will show up at some point.
Mary will be like, "I want that one," and then we gotta.
Yeah, and then we gotta go with what Mary says.
But what do you think, Jose, Henrik? What do you call it? Herb, Chris.
Jose says Pete.
All right, so we're gonna start with Pete.
All right, so I think Pete is absolutely consequential. Solely because
he's Disney?
Well, no, not because he's Disney, but because I know that all the cartoons are supposed to be lighthearted and happy and stuff like that, but outside of Pete in the cartoons, like the Mickey, Donald, and Goofy cartoons, there's no villain.
He's the heavy.
He's the heavy in all the Disney cartoons, in the Disney video games. Pete's the bad guy. Other than that, it would just be happy-go-lucky cartoons just chugging along.
But let's put this in perspective here. We're talking about Disney. Disney is supposed to be happy-go-lucky cartoons. There's no reason to have that heavy in there. We don't need, in the regular. I'm not talking about the movies. I'm talking about the cartoons. You don't need a bad guy in the cartoons.
Yeah, well, I mean, you need somebody for Mickey to go against. You need the person that Mickey can one of the most. I don't think it's technically Pete. In the cartoon, but Steamboat Willie, one of the first cartoons, one of the first cartoons. I don't know if it is Pete. That's the thing. he's like, you needed that villain because you needed somebody to go against Mickey. Like, Mickey is this really happy character and great character. You need somebody for Mickey to go against. You need somebody for him to butt heads with. Otherwise, there's no plot to the cartoon. There's no plot to the stories.
Jose says he is consequential since he's an original cartoon villain, at least for Disney.
He's like the original cartoon villain.
All right, but that's not true. I think that he's a carbon copy ripoff of Bluto.
Okay, so you couldn't have
Bluto is consequential. Bluto is consequential to Popeye because I mean he is like the counter opposite of Popeye. You know what I mean? It's Popeye, Olive Oil, Bluto, Wimpy. I mean everybody in that cast of characters is a big deal. When you're talking about Disney, you're talking about the big four, and you know they don't need Pete. I'm not saying that he's not consequential. I'm not going to go as far as saying that he's inconsequential. Okay, but I am saying that he is not necessarily needed. If you took him out, you'd still have Merry Melodies. You know, not Merry Melodies. That's Looney Tunes. I'm sorry.
Silly Symphonies.
Silly Symphonies. You know what I'm saying?
But Silly Symphonies aren't the crux of all of Disney's cartoons.
Hold on.
You know what I mean?
Let's see what the peanut gallery is saying down here. Who's Pete? Elmore. Hold on. Who's Pete? Elmore for the win. I don't know who's Elmore is. Pete is Mickey's Bluto. Yes. Who came first, Bluto or Pete? That's a good question. If somebody wants to look that up first, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. I don't have the ability to do that while we're on the show. But yeah, no.
Who's Pete? Wasn't it?
But
Pete?
that's.
Okay.
I agree with what Jose. Look at you and me being on the same page today. That's what Pete is.
That's the first.
Pete, yeah, definitely. Pete is Mickey's Bluto, like Jose said. Like
right.
he's the main and for the most part sole antagonist in all of what Disney does. He's what otherwise you don't have a story to the cartoon.
Not all of what Disney does. Look, there's Disney villains. Disney villains are very consequential. It's such a
Can you name me one Disney villain? And I'm not talking about Disney movies.
Maleficent.
No.
Maleficent,
We're different.
Cruella.
Different conversation. I'm talking about the Disney cartoons that entail the big
shorts,
four. The shorts. The cartoon. Like who is the main Disney villain?
There are no other Disney villain. Well, no, because in the shorts you still have your Captain Hook. Captain Hook still shows up in the Peter Pan.
Yes,
Disney
but
shorts,
I mean,
stuff like that.
But for the most part, like in the Mickey Mouse cartoons and the Donald Duck cartoons and the Goofy cartoons and all the stuff like the classics. Even now they do them again. Now they've recently brought them back. I believe it was. I might have started bringing them back in 2013, 2014, if I'm not mistaken. They brought them back with a different animation. The only consistent
Which
bad
was
guy.
awful, by the way.
No, they're actually not bad. If you, they're actually not bad at all. The consistent bad guy is Pete.
Is Pete? No, I understand that. It's like, I mean, he's just a stupid character, and
they're all stupid characters. They're talking animals. They're dopes.
But wait a minute. That is like
Goofy's consequential, and he's really stupid.
That's heresy, man. Like you're going against old Disney.
Well, they're cartoons. It's meant to be stupid.
It's meant to be silly, not stupid.
Silly and stupid. They're kind of the synonyms.
Goofy is fun. And technically Pete is a Goofy, right? Like whatever Goofy is, Pete is.
I'm pretty sure Pete's a cat.
Is Pete a cat?
I'm pretty sure Pete's a cat.
So then Goofy is a dog?
Yes, and I just would like to let this be known.
Has it been?
I would just like to let this be known. Everybody that likes to have this "is Goofy a dog or a cow" debate, there is no debate. The man's a dog. There are no male cows.
Well, he's not a man. The character's a dog.
The character's a dog. Okay.
But then why is he walking on 2 feet and Pluto's on 4 feet?
That's the conversation that nobody ever really has to have. But,
right. Let's see. Pete. Hold on. Pete came first, created in 1925.
Thank you, Zeb.
What do you call it? And then Pete 1925, Bluto 1932. So no Pete, there is no Bluto. Okay.
Oh, look at that. Jose, this is a new day. This is a new day. I love this. We're on the same page.
Silly is not stupid. LOL. That's true. All right.
If you're stupid, you can be silly, though.
This is true. I will actually concede with that because I didn't realize that. So Bluto then.
Jose, you're not going to agree on the next one.
Is a ripoff. Bluto is a ripoff then of Pete. Because the two of them are like the same character. It's like you can take Bluto, put him in any one of those Disney flicks, and take Pete and put him in any one of the Popeye flicks, and it would be pretty much the same character.
Exactly, and it's just because like, the reason I mostly say he's consequential is because like the next conversation is going to be different than this argument. Think of the Disney characters and the Disney cartoons, and you can't find me another another antagonist. You can't find another one. Shut your
but-
face. Shut your face. You don't even do your homework. Here's the peanut gallery doing Tom's job. Why is that my job? It's both our jobs. This is both our show. This is both our show, my friend.
I love it.
I do my job. I put all this together, and I help come up. We come up with the character list. Get out of here.
This is true.
If I were to tell you that we came up with these two characters literally minutes before we did this show,
we'd be lying.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd be
really.
lying. Yeah, we'd be lying. Not really.
Yeah,
But
no.
yeah, there's no way. Like Pete is the bad guy. Pete is Disney's OG bad guy.
Cookie cutter Pete. Elmer is the man.
Who is Elmer?
Who is Elmer?
Who is Elmer? I literally, I'm a Disney freak, and I have zero idea who Elmer is.
Oh, Elmer Fudd.
Oh, Elmer Fudd. That's
Elmer
what he
Fudd.
means.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we haven't gotten to all that yet.
We haven't gotten there yet.
We'll get to that.
I'm
towards
thinking you're talking
the
about
end.
Disney still, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
no.
I don't know an Elmer in Disney.
So I can concede in the fact that, again, I wasn't hardcore inconsequential on that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, like, I can sit and watch a Mickey Mouse short that doesn't have Pete, and it's perfectly fine. Same thing with, you know, Donald Duck or Goofy or what. Like, you don't need Pete there at all, and it's still a fun, you know, little cartoon.
Good
Pete-
afternoon, Brian.
Oh, hey, what's going on, Brian? What do you call it? So honestly, I don't think there's a need for Pete whatsoever. That's where I'm coming from. Like, I'm not saying that he's inconsequential because, you know, the stuff that he's in. Yes, you're right. He is the only main quote unquote villain in any of the mini cartoons. All right, or in the larger movies like the Goofy movies.
Like he's like the
and
OG Disney
so forth.
villain.
But hold on a minute. What about Uncle Scrooge? Uncle Scrooge is a villain
Is he though?
technically.
He wasn't a villain in DuckTales.
No, but he was a villain in everything else. Uncle Scrooge,
But I don't think Uncle Scrooge is as big a part of those shorts as those cartoons as Pete is. Like Pete's the ringleader in most of them.
This is true. Let's see. Elmer Fudd came to life in 1937. So no Pete, there is no Bluto. No Bluto, there is no Elmer Fudd.
I mean, I don't have to say it. Look, you got and look, Jose. I like to just reiterate. We like to give credit where credit is due. I think we say at the end of every show that there is no truly inconsequential without the people that join the chat and like to come join the conversation. So no, we're not. We give you guys as much credit as humanly possible and are much appreciated.
I love Jose.
Yeah, Jose's the greatest. Jose's the greatest.
I'm surprised Mary's not in here arguing right
She'll be
now.
here at some point.
Yeah.
I know Mary. Mary will pop in at some point.
Her, Lisa, what do you call it? Her, not true. Oh, wait. Oh! Is it good? It's about to.
We got some infighting. We have some serious
yes.
infighting going on.
Yes, get some.
Yeah.
Let that happen.
Nah, but I you know, like I said, Pete is the OG cartoon bad guy. Right. Like he's the you know big fat laughing bad guy that you know everybody likes to model their other characters after, and that thus I feel like is making him consequential.
I'm fine with calling him consequential. I just honestly I think if you plucked him out, there is no need for a villain in those mini cartoons. There is no need. You know what I mean? You still have the same cartoon with or without him. Seriously, think about it.
Yeah, but I think the
except for Goofy.
But I think
except
the cartoons.
for Goofy.
What do you mean except for Goofy?
Except for the Goof Troop, like the Goofy shows.
Oh well, no, I know, but I mean, I feel like you still need that. You still need that bad guy for Mickey.
There's Lisa.
Pete made a few appearances in the old school cartoons. His name wasn't mentioned except in the credits. I gotta go with Pete being inconsequential. Elmer wins. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there, Brian. Don't you go jumping the gun here.
Lisa just got here late lunch. Let's see.
No, you did not mix it up, Brian. You were right on it. So should we move on to the next bit of conversation?
Yeah, I think I'm getting yelled at by Jose now.
I think well, it's good that this is happening for you now because I feel like I'm about to get it. I feel like I'm really about to get it because we're on to Elmer Fudd. Do you want to start this one?
Pete helped create the tried and true formula that is still used today in cartoons. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm not. Again, I didn't come at this. It's not like I'm hardcore saying that he's inconsequential. I really didn't. I think I came at it very evenly on this.
Yeah.
One. I just at least I got to go with Elmer. We didn't even get there yet, but we're getting there now. I think we can say that he's consequential. I don't think that he's like ridiculously consequential in the grand scheme of Disney. But what do you call it? I think.
But I think he's consequential for the structure of how cartoons are, like how the structure between a good guy and a bad guy in these silly, wacky cartoons. You know what I mean? Like He kind of set, like Jose's saying, I agree with him. He kind of set the standard.
Did he start on Bosco with like Bosco, right? Wasn't it Bosco?
Pete?
Yeah. Didn't
Bosco?
Bosco. Was it Bosco? There was like
I don't actually know.
I don't know. I think Pete might have come, even before Mickey at some point.
It all started with a mouse, my friend.
Well, that doesn't mean that there weren't things before the mouse, because Mickey Mouse was not even Mickey Mouse before he was Mickey Mouse. So
What do you mean?
He was something before he was Mickey.
No, there was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Walt lost Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and then went on to create Mickey Mouse. He was actually going to be called Mortimer Mouse, but somebody within, I forgot, somebody in the Disney family said that they don't like the name Mortimer. How about the name Mickey? And Mickey Mouse was born.
There you go. Okay. I'm gonna look this stuff up later when we're off and see if I can figure that out.
But moving down, should we move?
Elmer.
Elmer.
So, Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd.
I love Elmer Fudd.
Who doesn't love Elmer Fudd?
Elmer Fudd is absolutely consequential.
Okay.
Elmer Fudd, is one of the characters that does cross over into numerous Looney Tune, sequences, whether it's Daffy, what do you call it, Daffy Duck, or what do you call it, Bugs Bunny. I think that the character, it was so important that they developed Elmira for Tiny Toons after him. You know what I mean? And again, not all of the Looney Tunes characters came through into Tiny Toons. You know what I'm saying? But a good portion of them did. But, at the end of the day, I think Elmer was one of those iconic characters that, he was the cause for Bugs and Daffy to go at it. He was the reason for them to be fighting. What's the biggest thing? Why I even went there with the title of the show? Duck season, Wabbit season, duck season, Wabbit season, duck season. Like it was all Elmer Fudd. Elmer Fudd is absolutely consequential.
Well, I think there were plenty of instances where Daffy and Bugs would go at each other, even before without Elmer Fudd. Because where I was basing my argument that Pete is the sole antagonist in Looney Tunes, I would say that there's plenty of other antagonists in Looney Tunes without Elmer Fudd. You know what I mean?
Hold on a second. Jose. Brim has a look on his face that tells me he probably voiced a few characters that he thinks are more important than Pete. The least important character that I've ever voiced is more important than Pete, Jose.
That's wrong.
I love you, brother, but I'm sorry.
That's absolutely wrong.
I don't think Pete is important whatsoever.
But he is, though.
I think that
Pete is important
he's
because
consequential, but he's not.
He molded the villain. He molded the cartoon villain. He molded the cartoon villain. Like I'm
gonna go with it.
He's the OG. You know what I mean? Like you do need those cartoon villains, because without those cartoon villains, like you might not have had an Elmer Fudd.
Okay.
If we just have cartoon characters that are all big buddy and just palling along, just singing and dancing, we wouldn't have characters like Elmer Fudd, who are the antagonist for Daffy Duck, and even Daffy Duck is kind of a little bit of an antagonist when you think about it.
He is.
For Bugs Bunny.
Yosemite Sam.
Wouldn't have Yosemite Sam,
Coyote.
Wile E. Coyote. All you mentioned all of those different characters.
Okay.
Also lending to the fact that Elmer might be inconsequential, because there's plenty of other bad guys in Looney Tunes that you just could pluck Elmer out.
No, but these other characters are not normally dealing with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Jose, my friend, welcome to the light.
Oh my God! Wait, hold on a second.
Welcome to my side of the arguments.
I'm going backwards for a minute here. Hold on one second.
Welcome to my side of the arguments.
He only went that way because I came back. Hold on one second. Hold on. Where are we? Sugar Honey Iced Tea.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to figure out where. Oh, Elmer evolved from Brian. Elmer evolved from the old school Looney Tunes Egghead. He's been essential for the growth and popularity from both Bugs and Daffy for many years. I agree with that. Elmer is, what did he say?
Inconsequential.
They have used plenty of other characters in Looney Tunes that do the same thing that Elmer could do. No, they haven't. It's a different character.
But like I'm saying,
agreed, Tom. But if I have to pick one, I'd have to go with Elmer. Hard choice, solid case for Pete. No, I mean, look, Pete is all right. I'm trying to get my bearings here. Pete is with the smile on your face.
I'm listening. I have headphones on, and you're speaking into a microphone. I can hear you, and the world can hear you.
Pete is. Yes, I say. Okay, I understand where you're coming from with Pete. I get it, but Elmer is absolutely consequential because Elmer is the reason for some of the biggest moments in Looney Tune history. And one of the biggest moments that everybody knows is Rabbit Season, Duck Season. What's another one? The Bugs Bunny opera. You know what I'm saying? There are all these different, like, other characters you can't pinpoint, you know what I mean, specifics of how, of like major moments in Looney Tunes. Elmer Fudd is in a lot of them.
I understand that, but I mean, like, there are other characters that you
Try to
could
get my
definitely do
thoughts
that with.
together.
You could do that with Marvin the Martian, consistently trying to blow up the world.
Marvin's inconsequential.
You can do that with Wile E. Coyote. Wile E. Coyote's a pretty big Looney Tunes villain.
Yes.
Yosemite Sam is probably the closest one to Elmer Fudd in the sense of like Looney Tunes villain. Exactly, like Yosemite Sam is literally all over the place when you're talking Looney Tunes villains. You know, so what I'm looking at it as, I think what hurts Elmer Fudd is the amount of Looney Tunes characters.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, Lisa says, without Elmer, no Yosemite Sam. Elmer was 1937. Yosemite Sam was 1945. That's fair. But what I'm saying is, I think the problem with Elmer is the fact that there are so many Looney Tunes characters that, outside of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, you don't really have one that's really all that consequential. You know what I mean? Like, there are plenty of other antagonists within Looney Tunes that Elmer Fudd doesn't necessarily mean as much.
Here,
You know what I mean?
Elmer's way bigger influence than Pete. I've never heard of Pete. That's
not my fault, Herb. You don't know Disney cartoons.
Jose, no, Bugs Bunny is Looney Tunes. Michael Jordan and Elmer is just another Scottie Pippen in a long list of Scottie Pippins in Looney Tunes. Lisa, without Elmer, no Yosemite Sam. Elmer, 1937.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, but I didn't catch that. I'm sorry. Because I'm just trying to catch up on the the stuff here. And by the way, I would have been blessed to voice any of these characters.
Oh,
I would have loved to.
But there's no way you could do it as good as Mel Blanc.
Well, nobody could.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant in general.
general.
I just meant in general. Like, nobody could do it as good as Mel Blanc.
Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Elmer Fudd. Oh, God, it just popped again. Enough said. Zeb's chiming in. I think we needed Elmer. We tuned in to see what kind of shenanigans him and
Herb,
Bugs
you're wrong.
were up to that week. It wouldn't have been the same with a different character. I agree with you on that. Thanks to Marvin the Martian, I knew what a uranium PU-36 explosive space modulator was. A PU-36 explosive space modulator was before I knew what a stick of dynamite was. Okay.
It's not your fault, but the majority don't know Pete either, so he's nothing. You're wrong, Herb, because like everybody knows Pete because Pete is the only bad guy in a Disney cartoon.
Hold on a second. But was Pete popular enough to even have a toy? I don't think there's a Pete toy.
No, there were plenty. There were absolutely plenty of Pete toys.
Sure?
Herb is on the Herb after that comment. No.
Herb's on the Herb.
Everyone knows Elmer. No, I'm not. Well, yes. Look, everybody can know who Elmer Fudd is, and everybody can know who Pete is all at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I keep saying, Pete, like I said, Pete's the only bad guy that exists in the Disney cartoons. Elmer Fudd is a long list of supporting bad guys that exist in Looney Tunes. There are just so many. Like the reason Elmer Fudd is inconsequential is because of the amount of people that exist in the Looney Tunes. There's so many freaking characters.
Hold on a second, Tom. How are you qualifying Elmer Fudd as a bad guy? He's not even a bad guy. He's a guy. He's a hunter.
Elmer Fudd is trying to hunt and kill the main character of Looney Tunes. Why does it say Rabbit Season? Why does it say Rabbit Season and Duck Season? Because Elmer Fudd's got a gun trying to shoot either one of them.
But hold on a second. He is a hunter going to get food to put on his plate. Do you eat meat?
I do.
Okay, so if you need to eat, are you going to eat that cow? You're going to eat that bunny? You're going to eat whatever it is to
Who
survive?
did you watch Looney Tunes for?
You're going to eat it.
Who did you watch Looney Tunes for?
For myself.
No, you watch Looney Tunes because you watch Looney Tunes because you love Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny is the Mickey Mouse of Looney Tunes. Okay? And Elmer Fudd, on a consistent basis, wanted to kill Bugs Bunny.
Okay.
So
he wanted to kill Bugs Bunny for what? To eat.
That doesn't make him a good guy.
It doesn't make him a bad guy.
It does, though, because he's killing the main character of the show.
So hold on a minute. So
he's killing him.
Hold on. So the favorite cow in that farm that you get that the meat comes from, that you get your burgers from. So the guy who has to take out that cow is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because
to PETA he is.
Okay, but to you, is he a bad guy?
What do you mean?
He's feeding you. He's making sure you have food, sustenance.
Yeah, but I don't like to pretend. I like to just pretend that, where my meat comes from. I don't like to think about it.
And the fact is, Elmer, as much as he's doing it for the right reasons, he's not going out
How
there
do
and
you know
go,
he's doing
I
it for
just
the
want
right
to eradicate. Because he never said, I want to eradicate
He
these
also
animals.
never said he just wants to eat these animals.
But of course he says, it's wabbit season. I'm going hunting for a wabbit.
Yeah,
You know what
but
I'm
he
saying?
could just hunt for the rabbit to put his head on the wall. Is that great?
Listen, I'm sorry. I don't agree with you on that. No, you don't like my argument because it's true.
No, but it's not true because
Elmer was a good guy. Now,
Elmer Fudd is not a
Sam,
Elmer Fudd is not a good guy.
No. Yosemite Sam is a bad guy. He's coming out, you varmint, and shooting at everybody. Okay, freaking Foghorn Leghorn is more of a bad guy than freaking Elmer Fudd is. Going over and banging the freaking poor dog on the head every single freaking episode. Right? Okay, he's a bigger villain than he is. The Wile E. Coyote is trying to get the Roadrunner because he wants to eat the Roadrunner. I feel bad for him too. Thank you.
But okay, how can you say Elmer Fudd is not a bad guy for hunting and killing Bugs Bunny to eat him, but Wile E. Coyote is a wild animal trying to kill the Roadrunner.
I didn't say he was a bad guy. I said I felt bad for him too.
You just used him in your argument.
No, I just said that I feel bad for him too. I was saying other people, and then I got to him, and I was like, but I feel bad for him.
Herb, he is a bad guy because Bugs Bunny is the main character, the main protagonist of Looney Tunes, and Elmer Fudd is looking to kill him.
Hold on. Now
yes.
We got to go back. We got to go back a bit here. Let's see. He's a hunter, not a bad guy, and we got likes on that one. Multiple likes on that one. LOL, Tom is getting hot.
I'm not getting that hot. I know I'm right. It's
Pete
okay.
was the ghost of Christmas future in Mickey's Christmas Carol. LOL.
Pete was in like everything.
Hold on. So now we saw those. Let's see. He's sticking it to the government for raising meat prices. Herb agrees with me. Pears and apples. And people watched Bugs to see if Elmer would get him. That's true. And he's not a bad guy. This is true. He's not.
He is. Though.
Jose's laughing, so we're there. He wasn't really a bad guy.
No, he is. No, he is a particle bald white man with a gun. He sits back with his popcorn and waits.
Jose Sylvester was more of a bad guy wanting to eat Tweety. See, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a bad guy, more of a bad guy, like thuffer and thuckatash.
I'm not debating on whether or not who's more of. I'm not debating whether or not who is a bad guy. I'm saying.
Hold on a minute, but you're basing the whole villain thing and saying that Pete, we wouldn't have what do you call it, Elmer?
No, but
I'm saying
I'm not debating on who's more of a bad guy than the other. What I'm saying is
consequentiality.
No. Again, I'm not saying who's more of a bad guy than the other. I'm trying to say that Elmer Fudd is in fact a bad guy because he's trying to kill the main character that you're trying to watch every day.
Do you want to grab Lisa down? Lisa down because we didn't read any of
Lisa
those.
down.
Yeah,
hold on one second. This thing is jumping all over on me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Didn't consider Elmer a bad guy. Thought of him as a foil to Bugs and Daffy.
Right.
So are hunters bad? Tom, no, hunters aren't bad. Wile E. Coyote has to be a billionaire, the Elon Musk of Looney Tunes. How else could he afford all those Acme products? You're not wrong, Brian. Where does he get this money from? He's not Tom LOL. So are all hunters bad? Nope, all hunters are not bad. But when you're trying to kill the main character of a show, I would argue he probably is. Yes, you are, Tom. I don't know what that's for. Face it, Tom. You should stick to making beer in your kitchen, brother. Jose, where did you go? We were just on the same side. You just told me that Elmer was inconsequential. You flip-flopper. But it had to be Bugs and Elmer, just like how Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner had their back and forth. In that instance, like with Elmer and Bugs, Wile E. Coyote was just trying to eat, which Tom makes him consequential. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make him consequential because there's a bazillion bad guys in Looney Tunes. Like this,
but he's not a bad guy.
But he is. He's trying to kill Bugs Bunny.
And now I'm going to take it a step further. Elmer was just there to hunt. Bugs was the one being hunted. Daffy was the real bad guy in that whole thing.
I agree.
He's the one that changed everything. No, it's rabbit season. It's not.
But Daffy is a bad. I agree that. I agree that.
Trying to get Elmer to kill freaking Bugs.
I agree
so
that.
Technically, Daffy is the worst because Daffy's the one who's putting a freaking a hit on Bugs.
Cool. Another antagonist in Looney Tunes that makes Elmer Fudd inconsequential.
No, because he couldn't do it himself. He needed somebody to do it for him. So that's where
So he needs somebody to do his work for him, thus still making him inconsequential. He can't do things himself.
Listen, you're not going to win this one. This one is,
no, I'm not. I'm totally going to win this one.
Daffy was definitely the instigator. See,
He was.
no, but Elmer is absolutely consequential
In what way?
in every way possible.
How?
Oh my God. It's
You
like-
haven't given me one reason why he's
I have,
consequential.
because without him, he was like one of the most important things in Bugs' history. Like every single main freaking not every single one, but most of the main sketches that people remember all have Elmer Fudd in it. That they're the most memorable ones. There's a reason for that, because he's consequential. I can't name you anything that's really. I love Yosemite Sam's one of my favorite characters. Okay, I can't name any freaking cartoon that Yosemite Sam is really prominent in. You know what I'm saying? With Elmer Fudd, there's the, what do you call it? The one where they're doing the opera, huge. Okay, the hunting season one, huge, and it goes on from there. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking that he's very consequential. Not even as a villain, because that's what I'm trying to say. He's not a villain. He's just a character. But that character was essential, because without him hunting, either for duck season or for rabbit season, a matter of fact, Bugs was an antagonist with that too, because he's the one who's trying to punish Elmer or punish Daffy and switch it to back and forth. So Elmer was the innocent guy in the whole damn thing. So essentially, you know what I mean, without Elmer's stupidity, you wouldn't have that back and forth between Bugs and Daffy, which is a huge thing in that universe. I rest my case, drop my mic.
That's fair. We are at the end of the show though. So
Let's
everyone
catch
knows.
up.
I'm not debating whether or not everybody knows Elmer. Herb, everybody does know Elmer, but if you don't know Pete, you don't know cartoons.
Hold on one second. Let's go. Let's just read. Let's do our due diligence.
Oh yeah.
Nope, Tom, sorry, love you, but you're not going to win this. Plus, he has a very iconic tagline. What is Pete's?
Pete doesn't need an iconic tagline.
Yeah. Lisa, totally agree with Brim. Thank you. Herb, Brim for the win. Jose, I think Brim might be right. Herb, Elmer Fudd is iconic. Name a quote from Pete. Waiting. Wow. Brian, I love you, Tom, but I have to go with Elmer. Herb, everyone knows Elmer's quotes. Jose, but where you want to read that one? Because it's.
But is he consequential as a character because of how Mel portrayed him in his odd voice? Herb, that's not true, Tom. Herb, yeah, he does.
I think
I don't know what that he does.
I don't know, but I think that he's iconic not just for the way he was portrayed. I think he's iconic simply because of how important he was in the storylines. You couldn't pluck Elmer out of those storylines and put a different character there. You know what I mean? You couldn't put Yosemite Sam in that what do you call it, in either of those iconic cartoons that I mentioned. You know what I mean? But
why?
Because he wouldn't make sense there.
Why wouldn't he make sense there? Because Looney Tunes is just full of a bunch of nonsense characters. Why can't I take the same guy, hothead with a gun, and put him in there?
The reason why it worked is Elmer's character is what worked for those things. There were plenty of times where...
Well, of course. I mean, like, that's what the cartoon was written for, but I feel like you could take that.
There were plenty of times where Yosemite Sam would be going after Bugs or Daffy or somebody. Well, usually Bugs, never Daffy, I don't think. But he was going after Bugs, and what do you call it? He didn't get him, and so forth. But he was like the angry little man, like, or Taz, like where they're going after Bugs. You know what I'm saying? Elmer wasn't like that. Elmer was kind of laid back for the most part until they pushed him to his limit. But the whole thing with Elmer, and again, like, I'm flying by the seat of my pants here, like I'm making this up as I go along, but it's true. Thinking back and looking at it, in over the grand scheme of things here, Elmer was such. He was a softer character when he was doing the opera stuff. Like singing nice. You can't have Yosemite's varmint. You know what I mean? It's a different character. Like Elmer wasn't trying to be a bad guy. He was just a hunter going out to hunt. Now his daughter, or however they put Elmira, she's a different animal. She's a villain.
Yeah.
And even her, she's just trying to love on the characters. But she, I would say, is more of a villain than Elmer.
Herb, you can absolutely have Bugs and Daffy without Elmer Fudd. Bugs and Daffy transcend all of the Looney Tunes. That's ridiculous.
They're nothing without the supporting cast.
Oh, I understand that, but I think you could absolutely have entertaining Bugs and Daffy cartoons without Elmer Fudd. Elmer Fudd was featured in his own cartoons. Was Pete? No, but Pete wouldn't get his own cartoons because he was, like I said, he was specifically a bad guy to a lot of the the Mickey Mouse universe.
Pete does not give importance to their cartoons. What opera doc is another iconic bit?
Well,
Yeah, what's
that's a
Opera
good
Doc?
cartoon. I love that
Yeah.
cartoon.
Again, he evolved from Egghead to Elmer. Bugs bested him every time except in Family Guy. That's funny.
That's very true.
Agree, Brim. You can't have Bugs or Daffy without Elmer. I mean, look, I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but they need the supporting cast, because without the idiotic supporting cast, they're not going to be as wise assy, and they're not going to get away with the crap that they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see. Elmer was featured. Oh, you said that one already. What did Zeb say?
That makes no Zeb. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's say Elmer is a bad guy, but he isn't inconsequential because we watch Bugs Bunny to see what Elmer and Bugs would do. You can't just stick in another Looney Tunes character. You can't just have Sylvester there instead. It doesn't work. It only works with Elmer and Bugs. That makes no sense, Tom. Pete 0, Elmer no. What doesn't what doesn't make sense?
So let's be clear.
Yeah, we are coming to the end.
Yeah,
we have to wrap
we
up.
voted that Pete is consequential, even though a lot of people are seemingly thinking that he's not. Right? Are we saying he's consequential? Well, what do you guys think?
Well, no, I think it's a consensus that they're both necessarily consequential, but we have to decide who's more consequential than the other at this point, because we are coming towards the end of the show.
Lisa, when you think of Looney Tunes, Elmer has to be the top 5 characters. It's not that way with Pete.
That's true.
That's true too, which
That's
is why
very
I
true.
said the big 4, earlier, and there's a ton of other characters that I would say before Pete. You know what I mean? Like even like old school
After
characters.
Goofy, though?
Hell yeah, man.
Name one.
After Goofy, let's see. Oh, Jesus Christ! There's so many of them.
did say Scrooge.
Aladdin, Scrooge.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about talking about Aladdin. I'm specifically talking about the
I know the cow more than I know freaking Pete. You know what I'm saying?
What's the cow's name?
Daisy, I think. Or,
Nope.
No.
Daisy's a duck.
The duck. Wait, what was the cow again?
I'm not going to tell you. I know what it is, but
Was
I'm
it
not going to
Delilah
tell you.
or something?
Nope.
It's been a while. I don't remember.
But you can't name the character.
Gertrude? I don't know.
Nope, it's not Gertrude.
What the hell's the name? Well, just tell me what the name is.
Annabelle.
Annabelle, that's it. With the big thing. Yeah.
But you didn't know, so you couldn't name it before Pete because you didn't know the name.
No, I'm talking about characters in Disney in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about going backwards. There's, Daisy Duck. There's Mickey, Minnie, Donald. What do you call it? Goofy, Pluto. What do you call it? All 7 dwarfs. You know what I mean?
Doesn't count.
Snow
I'm talking
White.
about the cartoon. I'm talking about the
they're
cartoons,
all
not the movies, not the feature length films. I'm talking about the
right. Well, all right. So,
But I guess you're right. But again, I'm going to be very happy that Jose is on my side for this one. They're both consequential, but Pete edges him out. Jose says because he set the precedent. He set the standard for cartoon villains.
both consequential. Yeah, that's what you just said. Edges him out. Lisa Elmer's more consequential. All right, so guys, what do you guys think? We've got a few people that are hanging in the chat. Everybody, sound your horns here. Who do you think is more consequential? Is it Elmer or is it Pete? I think for the most part, everybody was saying Elmer. If we go backwards,
yeah, no, I think for the most part, it's just me and Jose are beating the Pete drum because you people are sheep and just like to follow Brim with his long hair and beard. No, I understand. Look, I understand the fight. I understand the fight for Elmer Fudd because I will admit, Elmer Fudd has some of the most iconic moments in Looney Tunes. I've never seen such a large group of people be wrong. I know, Jose. I see it every week. It's okay. I understand. I understand that Elmer Fudd has a lot of iconic moments and a lot of in Looney Tunes. But without the character of Pete in the Disney cartoons, you don't have the necessary structure for the cartoon villain, the quintessential cartoon villain. Pete did that. Pete set that standard in all of cartoons. You know what I mean? Like you still need that.
Okay.
Haha, way to keep the fans happy, Tom. Insult their taste and knowledge. Of course, Herb. Herb, I need you to understand something. You tune into things for bad guys. You like why I have to be
people listen to
I have to be a bad guy sometimes, and I will tell you when you're wrong because you are wrong. Pete is the torchbearer of cartoon bad guys. And that's where we'll drop it.
What do you call it?
Clearly no one respects their elders. They don't, Jose.
Herb. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He did, though.
That's funny. All right, this is a great episode.
This was a good episode.
I think that the Elmers have it. I think the Elmers have it because whereas even if nobody else chimed in, there's still 2 Elmers plus me.
Yeah,
3.
that's fine. We'll take. I will.
You
I'm not.
and
I'm not going
Jose-
to. I'm not going to take the
You
L.
and
I'm
Jose
just gonna,
are on a lonely island.
We'll
which
we'll
is going
take
to wind
this.
up. I feel bad for you. He's going to edge you off that
we'll
island
take,
quickly.
We'll take this one in protest. Because you guys don't understand what actually consequential and inconsequential means. But hold on one second. Let me just get this.
Wish I could write on the screen. I put an L over your forehead right now for that loss.
Okay. Fine, Tom. Let's go on the island and bring your cheap beer. Yeah. I'm working on it, my friend. I'm working on it. We'll have some good beer by the end of that. But I thank you guys for watching.
It is definitely what do you call it? It was a very hard conversation. Not a conversation, a hard argument. Because Pete is very important in the grand scheme.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
But I think that Elmer did deserve the win on that one.
I don't, but it's okay.
I do. I really do. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, as always, to Truly Inconsequential. Greer and I really appreciate you guys being here. Obviously, you see how much more fun it is when everybody's hanging out and throwing in their 2 cents. And, the more 2 cents that gets thrown in, the closer we get to $1, and we can become bigger and better. So thanks again, as Greer always says.
Rate, review, subscribe, please share, like these videos. The more comments, the more likes, everything, the reactions, get more people to see it. And the after, if you're watching on the replay on YouTube, please hop in the comments, like the videos, subscribe to the channel. All of that helps us and helps more people see us and more people join these conversations. And that's all we really ask for. That's all we need.
Also, one thing I got to say, I love that shirt. That's a freaking awesome shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
I noticed it earlier and I didn't say anything, so I felt that you deserved that.
It says Nacho Problem.
It's Nacho Problem.
Don't patronize me though.
I'm not. I'm telling you, I really like the
Thank
shirt.
you.
I couldn't pull it off. I like that shirt. You look good in it.
I appreciate it.
And okay, Pete got that Disney money. It's true. What do you call it? And I also want to make sure you guys all know this Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Make sure you catch the Grindhouse Radio.
Yes.
This week, again, Richard Horvitz. If you're not familiar with Richard, he's the voice for a million different things, including Invader Zim, Nicktoons, Up the Wazoo, and so many other things. He's going to be on. We do a special 2 segment with him, and as always, he's hilarious and right on the money. So that being said, we'll see you guys next week.